Welcome back, friends! I recently covered the entire story of Black Myth Wukong, and one of the characters I knew I had to do a deep dive into was Erlang Shen, one of the game's most powerful and influential characters, as we'll cover in this video. His story is a tale that shows that even divine beings aren't immune to family drama, forbidden love, and the breaking of celestial rules. In this video, I'll break down Erlang Shen's origins from birth to godhood, his appearance in Journey to the West, and his influence in the secret ending of Black Myth Wukong. Note that there are a lot of versions and adaptations of Erlang Shen's story, so there may be some variations about his tale. In any event, when you are ready, grab a cookie and hot chocolate, sit back, and let's dive into this heavenly soap opera of this three-eyed god.
Foul monkey! Taste my axe!
Alright, let's begin our tale. Note that before Erlang Shen was Erlang Shen, he was known as Yang Jian. Keep this in mind for this part of our story. At the start of this cosmic tale is Princess Yaoji, sister to the Jade Emperor himself. Yaoji isn't just any run-of-the-mill goddess, though. She's the deity in charge of the realm of desire in heaven. Her job is to keep the gods' mortal urges in check, managing their love, affection, greed, and ambition. Then there's Yang Tianyu, a mortal scholar with a heart of gold and apparently irresistible charm. The fateful meeting between Yaoji and Yang occurs when an evil dragon breaks free from its heavenly chains. Yaoji, the dutiful goddess, pursues the dragon into the mortal realm. During this chase, the dragon manages to injure her, damaging her heart. Here's where Yang Tianyu steps in, playing the role of the heroic mortal. When he finds the injured goddess, he doesn't hesitate to offer his own heart to save her life. It's a gesture so noble and selfless that it melts Yaoji's divine heart. Her new one, technically, I guess. Unsurprisingly, love blossoms between the goddess and the mortal scholar. Throwing caution to the wind and apparently forgetting her job description, Yaoji marries Yang Tianyu. Their union results in 3 children: Yang Jiao, the eldest, Yang Jian, our future Erlang Shen, the middle child, and Yang Chan, the youngest. However, their happiness is short-lived. The Jade Emperor, not one to turn a blind eye to celestial rule breaking, discovers Yaoji's marriage to a mortal. Furious at this transgression, he sends the heavenly armies to deal with the situation. Their orders are to kill the half-blood children and the mortal man, and capture Yaoji. In the ensuing chaos, tragedy strikes. Yang Jiao, the eldest, and Yang Tianyu are killed. Yaoji is captured and imprisoned beneath Mount Tao as punishment for her actions. By some miracle, or perhaps divine intervention, Yang Jian and his younger sister, Yang Chan, manage to survive the heavenly onslaught. This leaves young Yang Jian in a precarious position. He's a demigod, born of a goddess mother and a mortal father, with a divine uncle who's not exactly thrilled about his existence. His origin story sets the stage for an epic journey filled with trials, transformations, and ultimately his rise to becoming one of the most renowned gods in Chinese mythology. From day one, Yang Jian straddles 2 realms, with one foot in the divine world and the other in the mortal realm. His divine blood grants him extraordinary abilities, while his mortal side keeps him connected to the human world. As Yang Jian matures, he begins to seek out ways to harness his divine abilities. This quest for knowledge and power drives him to search for a worthy teacher, setting the stage for his journey to become the god known as Erlang Shen. This search leads him to Yuding Zhenren, a powerful and knowledgeable immortal. Under Yuding Zhenren's tutelage, Yang Jian embarks on an intensive training program. He hones his combat skills, learning to wield various weapons with deadly precision. Yang Jian also delves into the realm of mystical abilities. He studies various forms of magic and supernatural skills. One of the most significant abilities Yang Jian acquires during this time is the famous 72 transformations. This powerful skill allows him to shapeshift into virtually anything he desires. While often referred to as 72 transformations, Yang Jian's mastery actually enables him to take on an unlimited number of forms. He can transform into animals, objects, or even other people. Another crucial skill Yang Jian develops is the 9 turns complex skill. This ability grants him immense physical durability and near invulnerability to conventional weapons and various magical spells. In the novel Investiture of the Gods, this ability allows him to emerge unscathed from attacks by powerful mystical objects, while his allies suffer severe injuries and even unconsciousness. This durability sets him apart from gods and mortals. During his intense training, Yang Jian also learns to harness his most distinctive feature, the mystical third eye in the middle of his forehead, also called the Eye of Heaven. This additional eye grants him extraordinary powers of perception and insight. With it, he can see through illusions and deceptions, discern truth from lies, and perceive things beyond mortal sight. There are also mythological works that portray his eye as a weapon, shooting destructive blasts of divine light or fire. The origin of this third eye is debated. Some say it was a gift from the heavens to compensate for his mixed heritage, while others believe it manifested as a result of his rigorous spiritual cultivation. Regardless, Yang Jian learns to harness its power, using it to enhance his combat abilities and magical prowess. As Yang Jian grows into his powers, he becomes determined to free his captive mother, who is imprisoned beneath Mount Tao by the Jade Emperor. He formulates a daring rescue plan. Armed with a giant axe and his newly acquired powers, Yang Jian approaches Mount Tao, ready to unleash his divine strength. The mountain, imposing as it is, stands little chance against a determined demigod with family issues to resolve. With a series of swings that would make any lumberjack jealous, Yang Jian begins to cleave Mount Tao. His giant axe cuts through rock and earth, splitting the mountain to reach his imprisoned mother. However, Yang Jian's mountain-splitting exploits don't go unnoticed. His actions draw the attention of the sun gods, who are the sons of the Jade Emperor, and by extension his cousins. These divine beings, tasked with maintaining cosmic order, view Yang Jian's rescue attempt as a threat to celestial harmony. The 10 sun gods arrive and instantly burn Yang Jian's mother to death with their immense heat. Overcome by rage and grief, Yang Jian moves to avenge his mother and attacks the sun gods. The battle that follows is nothing short of epic. Yang Jian, fueled by determination and his considerable powers, faces off against multiple sun gods. His combat skills, mystical abilities, and newfound powers are put to the ultimate test as he battles these established deities. In a shocking turn of events, Yang Jian manages to kill 9 of the 10 sun gods. He spares the 10th sun god after being persuaded to release him by the moon goddess Chang'e. As you can imagine, the death of 9 celestial beings at the hands of a demigod sends shockwaves through the divine realm. His actions cement his status as a formidable force in the celestial realm, capable of challenging even the children of the Jade Emperor himself. Yang Jian's path to godhood begins with a monumental challenge, a massive flood threatening the mortal realm. As punishment for taking the lives of 9 of his children, the Jade Emperor attempts to drown Yang Jian by emptying the raging waters of the Milky Way. This act, however, also puts the lives of countless innocents at risk. Faced with this watery catastrophe, Yang Jian showcases an unexpected talent for hydraulic engineering. He applies his divine abilities and newfound knowledge to manage the flood. Through the construction of dams and canals, he engineers new waterways and implements flood control measures, effectively taming the raging waters. His actions save countless lives and protect vast areas of land from devastation, earning him the gratitude and admiration of mortals. In recognition of his heroic deeds, Yang Jian is deified and given the title of Erlang Shen, meaning second sun god, and he becomes the god of engineering. Erlang Shen's flood control and water management successes emphasizes divine intervention in mythology. It also reinforces the idea of harmony between humans and nature, relying on both practical efforts and spiritual blessings. After godhood, Erlang Shen's iconic weapon becomes the 3-pointed, double-edged lance. This divine spear was forged by the heavenly craftsman using rare celestial metals and imbued with powerful magic. Its 3 points represent Erlang's 3 eyes, while the double edges symbolize his mastery over both the mortal and immortal realms. The lance has the ability to change size and weight according to Erlang's will. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention Erlang's dog, also known as the Howling Celestial Dog. Erlang encountered this dog during his mortal days, finding a stray that he felt an immediate connection with. Recognizing its potential, Erlang took the dog under his wing and taught it magical spells, allowing it to become immortal alongside him. The dog proved to be fiercely loyal, developing incredible speed and keen senses that made it an invaluable ally in Erlang's battles against demons and evil spirits. The dog became inseparable from Erlang, accompanying him in all his godly duties and assisting in major confrontations. Let's now cover Erlang Shen's appearances in the classic novel Journey to the West. In the story, Sun Wukong's antics in heaven pushed the Jade Emperor to his breaking point. After exhausting his roster of celestial warriors, the emperor turns to his ace, his nephew Erlang Shen. It's time for a divine family dispute of epic proportions. Erlang arrives on the scene, accompanied by the 7 sages of the Plum Mountain and his loyal celestial dog. The stage is set for a battle between 2 of the most powerful beings in Chinese mythology. As the duel begins, Erlang and Wukong engage in a shape-shifting contest, rapidly transforming into various creatures in an attempt to outmaneuver each other. Wukong changes into a sparrow, prompting Erlang to become a hawk. When Wukong turns into a fish, Erlang counters by becoming a fishing bird. At one point, Wukong even transforms into a temple. Throughout the battle, Erlang's third eye allows him to see through Wukong's disguises. No matter how clever Wukong's transformations are, Erlang's truth-seeing eye pierces through the deception. Despite Erlang's formidable powers, though, Wukong manages to evade capture through his wit and trickery. As the fight continues, it becomes clear that additional help may be needed to subdue the mischievous Monkey King. Other deities begin to intervene. The tide of the battle finally turns when Laozi, the Taoist philosopher god, enters the fray. Laozi unleashes his refined golden ring, a powerful magical artifact. The ring strikes Wukong, momentarily stunning the Monkey King and creating an opening. Seizing the opportunity, Erlang presses his advantage. In a coordinated move, Erlang's celestial dog lunges forward and sinks its teeth into Wukong's leg. This attack immobilizes Wukong, leaving him vulnerable to capture, which Erlang does. And with that, Erlang brings the Monkey King's antics to a stop. With Sun Wukong finally subdued, Erlang Shen and the heavenly soldiers turn their attention to Mount Huaguo, the Monkey King's earthly domain. This mountain, also known as the Mountain of Flowers and Fruit, has long been Wukong's base of operations and home to his monkey subjects. The celestial forces view it as a symbol of Wukong's rebellion and decide to take action against it. Erlang leads the heavenly soldiers in a campaign to burn areas of Mount Huaguo. The fires set by Erlang and his forces sweep across parts of the mountain, transforming it into charred landscapes and killing many monkeys in the process. It is a very tragic scene. While Erlang oversees the destruction on Earth, Wukong faces a different fate. The captured Monkey King is transported to heaven to face judgment for his rebellious actions. Upon arrival in heaven, Wukong is brought before the Jade Emperor and the Celestial Court. The Jade Emperor, still furious over Wukong's disruptive antics, pronounces judgment on the Monkey King. Wukong is to be refined in Laozi's 8 trigrams furnace, typically used in the creation of elixirs of immortality. The Jade Emperor hopes that the intense heat and pressure of the furnace will melt away Wukong's rebellious nature, leaving behind a more compliant and obedient subject. But this punishment has unforeseen consequences, inadvertently making Wukong even more powerful. His eyes become fiery golden pupils that can see through disguises, and his body is fortified by the flames. Unable to destroy Wukong, the Jade Emperor appeals to the Buddha for help. The Buddha manages to trap Wukong under a mountain, where he remains imprisoned for 500 years. Let's now fast forward into the future, and Wukong is eventually released. He is tasked with protecting the monk Xuanzang on a journey to retrieve Buddhist scriptures from India. It is during this journey to the west that Erlang Shen and Sun Wukong cross paths again, but under very different circumstances. This encounter sees them not as adversaries, but as reluctant allies against a common enemy. The reunion between Erlang and Wukong occurs by chance. Erlang, along with his 6 brothers from Plum Mountain, is returning from a hunting trip when they pass by the area where Wukong and his companions are facing a formidable enemy, the ancient Dragon King. Despite their past grudges, Wukong recognizes the value of Erlang's strength and abilities. So, in a surprising turn of events, Wukong decides to request Erlang's assistance. Erlang surprisingly agrees to help. This willingness to aid his former adversary perhaps demonstrates Erlang's commitment to maintaining order and combating evil, regardless of personal history. It also hints at a level of respect that may have developed between the 2 powerful beings since their initial battle. In any event, together they face the Dragon King. This creature poses a significant threat to the journey in the surrounding area. Working together, Erlang and Wukong combine their unique abilities to combat the Dragon King. Their cooperation proves effective against the ancient dragon, leading to its defeat. Following their victory over the Dragon King, Erlang and Wukong face an even greater challenge: the Dragon King's villainous son-in-law, a fearsome 9-headed demon. This creature possesses incredible strength, and has the ability to attack from multiple angles simultaneously, making it a daunting enemy. Erlang's third eye proves particularly useful in this fight, allowing him to anticipate the demon's moves and guide Wukong's actions. Through their combined efforts, Erlang and Wukong eventually triumph over the nine-headed demon. This victory not only ensures the safety of Wukong's party, but also cements the newfound alliance between the two former rivals. Their successful collaboration demonstrates that even the most unlikely friendships can form when faced with a common enemy. This brings us to the events of Black Myth Wukong. So let's cover the events of the game and the secret ending as they relate to Erlang Shen. The game opens with a celestial clash of epic proportions. The game's prologue shows Erlang leading an attack on Flower Fruit Mountain, Sun Wukong's home. He brings along the four heavenly kings and an army of celestial soldiers, turning this into a full-scale invasion. They are here because the celestial court has become mistrustful of Wukong. After the events of Journey to the West, Wukong had achieved Buddhahood, but then chose to leave his position in the celestial court to return to a simpler life on his mountain. The celestial court, remembering Wukong's past rebellion and fearing his power, views this as a potential threat. Their attack is essentially a preemptive strike against Wukong, attempting to either force him back under their control or eliminate him as a potential threat. This leads to the fierce battle between Erlang Shen and Sun Wukong that we see in the prologue.
All I ever wanted was a life in my mountain, free from you and your so-called merits. Those high above don't trust me. I understand that. And they send you and those knuckleheads to threaten me. To obey and serve once more. I understand that too.
Look, monkey. I don't make a habit of fighting someone I've bested before. How about you bend the knees, admit the wrongs, and we can put this behind us.
Unsurprisingly, Wukong is none too happy about this surprise party. Erlang wields his iconic three-pointed, double-edged spear, but Wukong matches Erlang's strength. They then engage in a transformation showdown, with each transforming into a bird. This mirrors their earlier encounter before Wukong was imprisoned under a mountain.
Fight me in the woods if you have the guts.
The tide turns when Wukong is flying back down to his mountain and the golden headband appears on his head and activates. This mystical accessory, placed on Wukong's head at the beginning of Journey to the West in order to control him, causes him intense pain and leaves him vulnerable. The headband was supposed to have been removed when Wukong attained Buddhahood, so its reappearance suggests that the Celestial Court never truly trusted him and kept it on him as a safety measure. Erlang takes advantage of this moment and strikes the decisive blow. As Wukong falls, his defeat triggers tragic consequences. Wukong is sealed within a stone and his soul shatters into 6 pieces. These are the 6 senses of the Great Sage. 5 of these senses are quickly claimed by Yaoguai kings, while the 6th sense, Wukong's mind, is lost. The player, as the Destined One, is tasked with the mission to gather these 6 relics. Now, I won't cover the full story of Black Myth Wukong here, as I've already covered it in a previous video. Feel free to check it out after this video to get a better understanding of the full story, if you haven't already. So, we'll skip forward to the part where Erlang Shen comes back into the spotlight, the secret ending. Now brace yourself. As it turns out, Erlang and Wukong were working together to break Wukong's imprisonment and have him reincarnate as the Destined One. In other words, the battle we witnessed in the prologue wasn't quite what it seemed. The fight, the defeat, and even Sun Wukong's apparent sealing in the mountain. They were all part of an elaborate plan cooked up by the unlikely duo. What a plot twist! During the secret ending, before the Destined One arrives, we see Erlang state that no one could kill Wukong except himself. This means that Erlang himself couldn't take down Wukong, contrary to what the prologue seemed to show.
In your heart, there must be something you can't get over. Or someone can't let go of. Same goes for me. I can't kill that monkey. No one can. Except himself. But at last, I see. This is the only way. He had no choice. And neither did I.
During the battle in the secret ending, Erlang begins to recognize our hero's power. Erlang appears to acknowledge that the Destined One has truly inherited the Monkey King's power and legacy. He even states that he has helped the Destined One, and must therefore see the events through.
A monkey of worthy deed. As I've helped you, I shall see.
The Destined One manages to defeat Erlang and the 4 heavenly kings. In a moment that feels like Erlang is passing the baton, he returns Sun Wukong's memories to the Destined One. This act completes the transfer of Wukong's legacy, confirming the player character as the true inheritor of the Monkey King's power and purpose. These memories contain crucial information about the Celestial Court, the nature of Wukong's imprisonment, and the larger conflicts at play in the heavenly realms.
I hear tell this Yao Guai's I rank 1,000-fold above that king. As his sire he reveres me, and like a deity he serves me. How dare you think I'm his slave? Kindly chant the loosening spell and release that, Tathagata, so that you can take back my headband and I can be free. The court of that Yao Guai said he knew me somewhat. Surely he's no mere mortal. He must be somebody from the court. Great. The journey ends here. Those eyes wide to bring them down. Watch me rip it off and break free.
In their subsequent conversation, Erlang explains that nothing, not even the golden headband, can keep Wukong prisoner. Only a mortal death followed by reincarnation could free the rebellious Monkey King.
No prestige can shackle him. No band can keep him caged. A mortal death for an unbound mind and will. May you not fail him. I'm now at peace. Your journey, though, has just begun.
Sun Wukong's death was thus actually a calculated move. By splitting his essence into the 6 senses and scattering them, Wukong made it impossible for the Celestial Court to maintain their hold over him. By orchestrating Sun Wukong's defeat and the shattering of his essence, Erlang and Wukong created an opportunity for a worthy successor, the Destined One, to gather the 6 senses and reject the golden headband, effectively breaking the cycle of control. Wukong faking his defeat isn't far-fetched either, given his history of trickery. In Journey to the West, he once feigned death to prank Zhu Bajie, the piggy sidekick. The pivotal moment arrives when the Destined One, armed with Sun Wukong's memories and the power of the 6 senses, faces the choice of accepting the golden headband. Thanks to Erlang's revelations and the return of Wukong's memories, the Destined One possesses the knowledge and power to reject it. This act of defiance marks a significant turning point in the cosmic order. In the ending, by refusing the headband, the Destined One breaks the cycle of Sun Wukong's imprisonment.
What does it matter if you become a Buddha? That headband has always been on your head.
Keep those eyes wide open. Watch me rip it off and break free.
Erlang's role in this rebellion cannot be overstated. His actions, from his initial defeat of Wukong to his final test of the Destined One, were all carefully orchestrated to lead to this moment of freedom. This true ending also reshapes our understanding of Erlang Shen's character. Far from being a simple antagonist, he emerges as a complex figure willing to risk his position and reputation to right what he sees as a cosmic injustice. This action also makes sense from a personal perspective, since as we learned in the beginning of this video, Erlang's family has suffered at the hands of the Jade Emperor and the Celestial Court. Wukong's defiance may allow Erlang to bring about rebellion and freedom in the face of oppression. Ultimately, the true ending of Black Myth Wukong transforms the game from a tale of personal heroism into a story about challenging oppressive systems, even when those systems seem divine in nature. And there you have it, the epic tale of Erlang Shen and the secret ending. What do you think of Erlang Shen and Sun Wukong conspiring together to rebel against the Celestial Court? If you'd like to learn more about the full story of Black Myth Wukong, be sure to click on the video on screen now. I'll be waiting for you there. In any event, if you enjoyed this look at Erlang's story, remember to like the video so I know to keep making more, subscribe if you loved it, and let me know in the comments what other characters from Black Myth Wukong you'd like to see me cover next. See you on the next one, friends!